Have you ever been so afraid of something that it completely took over your thoughts? Maybe it's a fear of heights, spiders, or public speaking. Imagine if there is a way to train your brain to stay calm in those scary situations, like rewiring your fear response. That's exactly what psychologist Joseph Wolpe set out to do in 1961 with his study on systematic desensitization, a groundbreaking technique for treating phobias and anxiety. His work transformed how we understand fear and led to one of the most widely used therapies in psychology. Today, let's explore how Wolpe helped people relax their fears away. This study falls under the area of behavioral psychology, which focuses on how our environment and experiences shape our behaviors. Wolpe was particularly interested in how people developed and overcome fears. At the time, many believed that fears were deeply ingrained and nearly impossible to remove. But Wolpe challenged this idea, believing that if fear is learned, it can also be unlearned. His technique, systematic desensitization, became a breakthrough in treating anxiety disorders and phobias by gradually exposing people to their fears in a controlled, relaxed way. So how did Wolpe's method actually work? He developed a 3-step process to help people face their fears without overwhelming them. First, he taught his patients deep relaxation techniques, things like deep breathing and muscle relaxation, so they could stay calm instead of panicking. Next, he helped them create a fear hierarchy, a list ranking their fears from least to most terrifying. For example, someone afraid of snakes might start with looking at a picture of a snake, then watching a video, then standing near a small snake, and finally holding one. The last step was gradually exposure, slowly introducing the feared object or situation while the person stayed relaxed. Over time, their fear response weakened, and they learned to associate the one scary situation with calmness instead of panic. Wolpe's work was a game changer. It showed that fear is not permanent, it can be retrained. His method became one of the most effective treatments for phobias, anxiety, and even PTSD. Unlike older methods that force people to face their fears all at once, something called floating, which was often traumatic, systematic desensitization made the process gradually and much easier to handle. This approach gave people control over their fear instead of overwhelming them. However, the study wasn't perfect. Some fears are more complex and are not just about simple association. Emotional traumas, for example, often require deeper therapy beyond desensitization. Also, this method works best when a person is committed to practicing constantly. Without effort, it doesn't have the same impact. Even so, it remains one of the most widely used techniques in therapy today. Even though the study was conducted in 1961, its impact is still huge today. Systematic desensitization is a core technique in cognitive behavioral therapy, one of the most effective treatments for anxiety and phobias. Think about fear of public speaking. Someone might start by practicing in front of a mirror, then speaking to a friend, then a small group, and finally a full audience, all while using relaxation techniques. This method is also used for treating PTSD, helping people recover from trauma by slowly confronting distressing memories in a safe and controlled way. Even athletes and performers use similar techniques to stay calm under pressure. Today, Wolpe's research connects to virtual reality therapy, where people with extreme phobias like fear of flying can be exposed to simulations of their fears in a controlled setting. It also plays a role in mindfulness and meditation techniques, helping people manage anxiety by pairing relaxation with fear exposure. Even apps that help with anxiety like Calm or Headspace use similar concepts by guiding users through relaxation while facing stressful thoughts. Fear doesn't have to control us. Wolpe's research proved that with the right techniques, we can train our brains to stay calm and overcome anxiety. His work changed the way we treat phobias and still being used in therapy today. So the next time you feel anxious about something, remember, you have the power to relax your fears away. Thank you for listening. This presentation was about relaxing your fears away by psychologist Joseph Wolpe. My name is Amanda Rodriguez, and I appreciate your time.